So Nolan dropped this Twitter post where it was like, hey, I bought this company and this company used to take Christmas week off and I'm not going to do that. And because I'm not going to do that, the new employees didn't. That was an unpopular decision. Like it used to be just like a free paid week, I think. And that's a company culture decision, but the ripple effects of that decision are kind of like really reaching when you think about it. Like that means that company is not in a home service business. I'm sure there's other businesses that this does not apply to. So like home service, demand and cash flow. So from my perspective, that means that owner is not optimizing for growth. They're not optimizing for revenue. They're not optimizing for opportunity in front of people, which means that their guys probably aren't going to earn top wages because it's really hard to pay people top wages when you're not driving revenue. Not rocket science. They're probably not going to have the best benefits, but they get time off for the owner and maybe the team. So what that culture tells me is this is going to be an underperforming culture led by the owner. And I think that was probably the main thing I wanted to drive through culture is it's like what behaviors, and I think this is probably the hardest thing for people to accept, is like core values or culture is basically whatever the owner either makes it or permits it to be. So I work every day inside the office and I sit inside the call center. That's a part of our culture. And people bring that up. Like that's something that is not because I bring it up, but because other people bring it up. It's relevant to them that the CEO sits outside with the call takers. They see that as like a part of like a we're in the trenches together, driving today's performance together. And that's a part of our culture to maximize every day. And I'm there pushing with them. And that, I suspect, is highly different than the person that took a week off after Christmas with their entire company. Does that make more sense?
I think we're on the same line then. I know that there's other people, I won't say names, but that kind of on the Twitter sphere lean the other direction, but I'm definitely in the same boat with you in terms of lead from the front mentality. I know I respect a lot of the guys who specifically used to run, like were ex-military, like Rich and all those guys. You can tell that they believe in that same lead from the front mentality, whether it's in the field or in the call center or actually going out on doing job walks with the guide, because at the end of the day, right, that's huge. You be disconnected from your team is really it. Close the door, disconnect, and then expect them to follow you as a leader when this is one that I'm not prepared for. It's an interesting conversation on how to verbalize and give, kind of how to talk about doing it intentionally, because it's not something that I've ever done intentionally. My history was working right out of college with lots of really skilled tradesmen who had been, quote unquote, from old man Ron himself, who used to work for me. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive, boy. It's one of those things where you start from that point and you have to understand that's how a lot of them think and how a lot of them feel. Even when you have to try and do change management and push initiatives and still drive revenue. So they have to know that you're in the trenches with them and that you're part of a team and that you're driving all in the same direction. I think that you hit the nail on the head when you're saying that doing that through compensation is important. Doing that through presence and actually physically being there is important. And then I think that as silly as it sounds, as simple as it sounds, legitimately caring about your people and your team is a big step. We send out birthday cards on people's birthdays and all the little things that really do show the team that you care and that you're listening to them and that you understand that they're people. I don't think that there's very many people on that last point that will disagree with that last point. That being said, I'm rambling here because I am stuck on not fully knowing how to verbalize, how to build culture. I thought this was going to be a conversation about Christmas parties, and
no, I think Christmas parties maybe are a result of it. But I really lost myself in this thought train of what sets our business apart from that business that took the week off after Christmas. Like in some ways, people would look at my decision and my sort of scorn at that owner's decision to do that and be like, wow, that guy's a dick. A lot of people on Twitter did say that, which I thought was hilarious. But what they don't see is that my average tech probably makes double or triple what that guy's average tech would. Or that our benefits are significantly better because we are a revenue and growth culture that drives performance daily and every day matters. I think that I bought a business that did that once, where they worked 4 10s and then they took the week after Christmas off. It was a very laid back culture, which is good. There's good things about that. But then they also couldn't figure out how they couldn't get to the next level. And it's like, you can't get to the next level because you're not attempting to get to the next level. Like, you're actively cutting yourself off at the ankles. You are removing revenue opportunities, which that's now a part of your culture. A part of your culture is ignoring revenue. It's these decisions that make it that way. Or the owner that doesn't show up, or the CEO, the person who's running it, hiding in their office is a decision, and it's a demonstration to the rest of the leaders in your business that it's okay if they hide in their office.